I'd like to bring up now the CareNet's director, Christina Soltan. We got all sorts of exciting things happening over at CareNet right here in town. You don't have to go San Luis Obispo to find Christina. She's right here.
Thank you. So many things were swirling through my head listening to each one of you speak, and especially the 40 Days of Life. I just wanted to throw in, if you are not familiar with Abby Johnson or have heard about Abby Johnson, I recommend you view her DVD titled Unplanned. Abby was the director of a Planned Parenthood in Texas. And it was because of 40 Days of Life, it was because of those counselors on the sidewalk praying for her, that when God removed the veil from her eyes to see what she was doing was death and destruction, she went right to that pregnancy center of those people that were praying for her. So that makes a huge impact. She's now started a nonprofit called And Then There Were None, and she focuses on Planned Parenthood clinic workers who have left, and she then puts out support to people that she knows to try to get them jobs elsewhere. So 40 Days of Life from those individuals, I mean, has made just a huge impact. So I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to share today. It is a pleasure to be here as we fight for the same cause. I want to first encourage you not to give up the fight for the unborn. What you are doing is good work, and it is very God-honoring work, so thank you. I don't know if you're aware, but I was able to get some information from the Right to Life group in Kern County. And one of the individuals who works for the organization out there, her name is Mary Lee Schreier, and she found a senator who was willing to carry the legislation for the Ultrasound Informed Consent Act. And this is recently passed in Wisconsin. So if you're not aware of it, what it will do is it will mandate physicians to show the client a fetal image and hear the heartbeat, and then have a 24-hour wait period. So that is huge. If you haven't heard about that, keep that in prayer for Senator Fuller as she's going to move forward. And so that would just be an amazing, amazing thing. I received an email. I'll get to what we do in a second. I received an email a couple days ago, and this is just to keep you encouraged to still continue to go out there day after day and pray in front of the clinic, because I know it makes a difference. I love the story that was shared this morning. I received this just last week. A gal had emailed us at CareNet, and her email goes like this. I just found out I'm pregnant. Right now in my life, I'm not ready to have a kid. If you can let me know how your clinic works, that would be great. I have no insurance or Medi-Cal. Please let me know what I can do or if there are any payment plans. Everything that CareNet does is free, all of the services that we provide. So I let her know that. I invited her in for a pregnancy test to find out how far along she is. Unfortunately, she did not come in, and so I received this message from her 3 days ago saying, thank you for responding. I applied for a Medi-Cal emergency for Planned Parenthood, and they were covering the payment, and I'm so sad this is happening to me, and it leaves me depressed. But I have to do what's right for me. Thanks again for your reply. So it's very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking. So that's why I think we still need to be out there. We absolutely have to be out there. I don't know if this woman is the one that you guys had talked to, or if you saw her or anything. But really, these girls do it a lot of times out of desperation. And for those of you who don't know how the abortion pill works, Planned Parenthood up to 9 weeks will dispense it. And it's a 2-pill series, and so the first pill actually depletes the placenta from providing any nutrients to the baby. So the baby dies, and then the second pill will cause the abortion. And so that happens after 9 weeks, and for those of you who know about fetal development, 9 weeks is very, very substantial. So we do have to continue praying and fighting that fight. It very much is a spiritual battle. It is a choice between life and death. And we at CareNet, that is what we communicate to the clients that come in. We have been serving in Santa Maria for 22 years. We are located behind Del Taco at Battles and Broadway. We're the standalone 2-story building. And we provide pregnancy tests and parenting classes. We have baby and maternity supplies. We are in the schools speaking to the students about healthy relationships, fetal development, boundaries, and adoption. And so we speak to about 4,500 students a year, and that number continues to grow. We're in the junior colleges, we're in all of the private and public high schools in Santa Maria, and then we're also looking at making headway into the junior highs. So that's really huge. One thing that I really wanted to share is the vision of the center. We've been in Santa Maria for 22 years, and when I was asked to step in as director last year, my involvement with the center, I've been there for 8 years. And so one thing that is pretty common with girls who come in for a pregnancy test, they have been pregnant before, they're returning, and many of them have chosen abortion. And what they say is, if I knew what I know now, I would have never done it. And that really pushes us forward to a medical, going into a medical clinic to actually provide ultrasounds. If we could provide ultrasounds to a girl who comes in for a pregnancy test who is abortion-minded, then we can actually show her the development that's happening inside of her. It's actually going to take a lot. It would require lube, it would require equipment, it would require staff and things like that. But we just know that this is God's ministry, and we know He owns a lot of cows on tons of hills. And so we just always look for Him for guidance, and He has just really already been opening doors for us for resources, and we just know that this is something that He wants us to do. As well as STD testing. When a client comes in for either pregnancy test or parenting classes, we have them fill out an intake form, and on that form, we find out how old they were when they first became sexually active and how many partners that they've had. And really the results, it's heartbreaking. We have a lot of clients who have had multiple partners and have never been tested for STDs. So they can come to us, they can get tested for STDs, and we can sit down with them and talk to them about abstinence, because that's what it's all about. That's the only way that they'd be staying healthy, abstinence until marriage. And so those two things, providing ultrasounds and then also doing STD testing, is something that we're looking to do in the future, and we're going to kick it off in October by having a banquet. It's going to be at the Radisson, and so this is actually going to be the start of gathering the funds to make that happen. So on the back table, I have left our newsletter, which gives more information on it. I'll be here if you have any questions, if you want to talk, or if you want to know more. So again, I just thank you. I love being on the front lines with you guys. It really is a pleasure. And like I said, life is so near and dear to God's heart. So I know that this is something that He absolutely anoints, and that He just gives us the courage to continue the fight. So thank you.
Thank you, Christina. I think she was a bit shy or a little bashful. Somewhere down here, I've got their newsletter somewhere. I don't have it. Here it is. They're doing great work. She mentioned the number of high school students they've seen, but here's their total 6-month report. Number of client visits, 827 young ladies went in there. Well, actually, some men went in there. 683 women and 144 men took advantage of their services. Pregnancy tests, 143. Parenting classes, 654. Community outreach to 1,938 students in the local schools and in juvenile hall. Doing great work. They need our support, especially as they pray about and take this next step to go to medical clinic status, where they'll be able to do the STD testing and the ultrasounds, which are really life-saving type functions.